You've coached the tight ends coach for from 1980 to 1984. Then you started coaching the receivers in 1985, returned to tight end in 1986, and also you became the recruiting coordinator at Arizona. Talk more about the responsibilities of being named the recruiting coordinator and what do you look for as a recruiter?
Well, I think that originally when I first started, Coach Smith kept me because I was from California, and most of the staff was from the Midwest. And Coach Smith had come from Michigan
Yeah,
originally, in Miami of Ohio,
yeah.
and the coaches had on the staff. There was a lot of Midwest background, and it was good for me to get exposed to that. But I think that's one of the reasons the
You had all
fact
the
that I
local
had.
ties, coach. You had all the
Pardon me?
local ties. You had everybody in the valley, the SCD to go after. Like you didn't have anybody else on staff that could do that. You
So I think that helped me. But it's when to be the recruiting coordinator is a little bit, you're the recruiting organizer. And it still comes down to each guy in his area uh, doing a good job. And I'll tell you, San Jose State, we did a great job of working camps. Oh man, we worked camps. It's when the camps just started blossoming,
yeah.
and on campus, off campus, traveling camps, and it's a matter of just organization. And I got to know when I was in Arizona. I got to know Bill Reese real well, and he was at UCLA, and he was the recruiting coordinator there. And little did he know it, he helped me a lot. We would just talk, and he was young guy at that time, and but when it's like anything else in life. If you go to a high school and you treat people well, and a high school coach, I always took the approach that it was my responsibility to service that high school, that the area in which I recruited. And I always remember having a long conversation with Jim Bankert about that. And he get frustrated because guys, he felt sometimes guys, he didn't know who would recruit his school. And he always had some players, but guys didn't always follow up. And you have to follow up on your area. And
Yeah.
you can't take everybody, but you can still treat people well and be honest. And I think high school coaches respected that approach.
How was your network, coach? I say that because when I started, I just was hustling. You recruit everybody, you do everything you can. But as I got older and start coaching for years and years, I got to the point where like the Dorsey coach, Coach Knox at Dorsey or Coach Tilly, the track coach, or Coach Garrett, whatever. Those guys were just kind of send me people. It got to the point where I had those relationships. I did good with their
Yeah.
previous kids, and I would just, it got to the point you still have to recruit the kid, but I could call Coach Tilly at Dorsey or Coach Knox. And they say, hey, Chris, you're not going to get this kid because he's going to USC or UCLA. But they tell me right away, but I could get you this kid. Or they
Yep.
say, I got a really good kid for you.
Right.
And like I tell people, it's all relationships.
It's
You've
all
been,
relationships.
yep,
And but it's the relationships. And if you say something, you better back it up.
yep,
Don't tell that high school coach something and then don't follow up on it.
yep.
And if you're going to recruit that kid, you better be upfront and honest with them.